These cases of filing a false report of child abuse, they're rare. We obviously want to report, or the legislature, the government wants people to be reporting child abuse. They want people to come forward and talk about these things. I'm Adam Rossin from the Rossin Law Firm, and on today's video, we're going to be talking about filing a false report of child abuse and the associated penalties of that, what that crime is, really everything that you need to know about these cases. So let's get into it. These cases of filing a false report of child abuse, they're rare, but they do happen. And when they happen, they can be devastating to people. So that's why, in certain situations, they will prosecute this. And when we talk about the elements, well, it's knowingly, right? This is an intentional crime. You have to know, and it has to be intentional, knowing, and willful. And you have to make a false report of child abuse or child neglect, or you can induce or coerce or force somebody else to make that false report. That's also the crime. It can be me basically telling my friend, you have to do this, and forcing them or coercing them into filing a false police report. Then I can be charged. Now, there is what's called a good faith exception. We obviously want to report, or the legislature, the government wants people to be reporting child abuse. They want people to come forward and really talk about these things. But then again, if it turns out to be false allegations, well, we don't want to be prosecuted. So if you are prosecuted and you acted in good faith, well, then that would have what's called a chilling effect. And people would say, I'm not doing this anymore. I'm not getting involved. So there is that exception for good faith. If you believed it or had reason to believe or evidence to believe that it was false and you truly acted and in good faith, and you just so happen to have made a mistake, well, then you're not liable. You're not going to be prosecuted under this section. This is for intentional misrepresentations. So where do we see cases such as this, or fact patterns such as this? A lot of times, and it's sad, but it's true, we're going to see these in custody battles, especially in custody battles. Because, for example, when we defend sex crimes, quite often we'll defend the case and realize that it was completely fabricated in order to gain an upper hand through a divorce, through a child custody, or a situation like that. So that's the most common way that we see these, are when people will file these false claims and get arrested when it comes out that the claim was in fact false. And this is a felony, so it's serious. It's a third-degree felony with a max punishment of up to 5 years in prison or probation, and or a $5,000 fine. So this is a very serious crime. We don't see too many of these, but it is possible and it does happen. Hopefully you're never in a situation like this, but if you are, you can always give us a call. And when these type of cases, child abuse, sex crimes, they're usually prosecuted by special victims units, specialized prosecution and police units that handle child and sex abuse cases. And you really need attorneys that know what they're doing, that know the players involved, that have handled these cases before, because these are very serious cases. If you have any questions at all, feel free to give us a call, 754-206-6200.